Hey guys, Mike from Gettin Greasy Garage, and working on the battery box for Black Betty. I'm at a point where I've got to get the battery mounted in and get it hooked up so I can start powering up the vehicle wiring harness, and so that I can work on the air ride. So this battery box is just one of the cheap aluminum type battery boxes that you buy them on eBay. I think they're like 30 bucks, and it's, comes all with the ready rod and everything, and it's got a crossbar right here. Show you guys. I've done a video on this way back. Here's a crossbar for it, but anyway, I made these mounting brackets. These are just 22 gauge sheet metal I bent up on the brick. I used some thread certs and painted them. There's the other one, the front one and the rear one. Like I say, I just bent them up out of some 22 gauge scrap that I had laying around. These turned out pretty nice. So go ahead and move over to the trunk of Black Betty and show you guys what's next. Okay guys, so here we are with the trunk. Figured out where everything's going to mount. I drilled it and put nut certs in, or riv nuts, whatever you want to call them. And if you do not have a riv nut tool, go on Amazon or eBay and buy yourself one right now. Especially on these old cars that a lot of stuff was bolted through with a nut and a bolt and some washers and all that. So this one goes here, and this one goes here. As you can see, they go on the top of the nut certs. And I got some new hardware. I'll get everything bolted down in the back, because there's that channel right where the nut certs are. As you can see, I got some stacks of washers. I didn't want to use washers for spacers, but these won't rust or corrode because they're coated, and I didn't have any tubular stock with a hole in the middle, nor do I have a lathe to make proper shims. So anyway, I'll go ahead and get these bolted down and bring you guys back for the next part. Alright guys, got the brackets in. I left them loose just to move around. This battery box just comes with screws and nuts to put it all together. I went ahead and put a couple screws in here. That way the sides and the back stay with the bottom. This all thread will unthread, so which will make sense in a second. And then I went ahead and drilled these out and put nut certs in the front so that the front cover can come off. So we'll go ahead and set this on here. Line it up. Whoa. Bear with me, trying to film and put screws in at the same time. It's not easy. In some places you just can't get a tripod. Get a screw in here to hold this sucker if I can let go. Okay. So the grommets are far enough back that I'll be able to drop the battery cables out the back. They'll go down into the bottom edge of the quarter panel, and then where the trunk side goes flat, they'll come back in. The positive will run forward along the frame rail, and the ground will get hooked directly to the frame rail. That's the best place to ground. But that looks pretty good. I'm happy with the way it turned out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all screwed down, and then bring you guys back for the finishing of this video. Hold on. Alright guys, got it in, got it mounted. As you can see, got all the screws in, they're out of the way of the battery will fit in. We should be able to fit a battery between here and this stud, but if not, It's no big deal to loosen a 9/6 or a 9/16 nut. Unscrew this, put the battery in and out. Now, it does have a solid lid, and it's bolted down, but I came up with a way. So like typical battery boxes, if you have to jump start these things, you gotta open up the battery box and all that rigmarole. Well, once I run the main battery cables to the vehicle in, hook them to the battery, I'll make some short cables that will hook up to here, the back sides of these. And these are just race car jumper studs. And this panel actually just drops in and then screws in here. But yeah, you'll be able to pull them off. There's your positive, your negative for jumping it. Nice little covers. Those things were like 15 bucks on eBay. So there's the screws. They go in here. Not too many in my hand. But yeah, that's the battery box, and it's installed, and there's a little bit of movement, but I've still got one bolt in the back corner that I got to crawl in the trunk and reach around. When I built the brackets, I didn't give a lot of thought to how I was going to tighten those nuts, or the bolts that go into those rib nuts in the floor. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with it, how it turned out. I've been battling in my mind how to mount this thing for quite some time. So as you can see from here, that'll look pretty sharp. It's in the trunk, it's out of the way. Two reasons for mounting the battery back here. One is I like to hide all my electrical in the engine compartment, and nobody needs to see a battery. The other is the air ride is going in right here on the shelf behind the back seat. So you'll have a compressor on each side. The tank will be right there where the welding helmet is. It's a 5-gallon tank. You've got the solenoid assembly will go right here at the back where you can see it. And those compressors need to be able to access battery power. So that was the reason for doing it. But anyway, guys, more progress being made. And just wanted to show you what I had whipped up for this battery box. I think it's going to look pretty good in there. Of course, you know, when I'm done with everything, I've got to vacuum out this trunk again, wipe everything down. It got dusty from, well, I got a 12 by 24 one-bay shop, so anything I do in here gets covered in dust, and it's just a fact of life. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching all the videos. Really appreciate the support for the channel. You know, this channel's just a showcase for me to show you guys the little bit of stuff I play with. And this relay panel here, this will come into play later. I think it's going to go right here, but I'm not sure yet. But anyway, you know, appreciate everything from you guys, especially the comments and the feedback on stuff. We're over there on Facebook, Gettin Greasy Garage, and at Gettin Greasy Garage on Instagram. I've been putting up shorts and stuff there. So anyway, go check them out. Sometimes there's stuff there that isn't here. If you don't have time to watch full-length video. But yeah, suggest the channel to your friends. Let's grow this thing. And like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff free. It doesn't cost you a thing. Helps out the channel. Anyway, that's enough out of me. It's like 9:30 at night, and I'm ready to go home for the day. So I wish everybody a good evening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Stay greasy, my friends.